Hey guys, the section of violence here. We're gonna get right into it. We have UFC on the rise. It's gonna get more interesting. Let's start off with Simon Oliveira versus Daniel Marcos. Daniel Marcos is an extremely flashy striker. Very talented on the feet. Has good takedown defense. As fundamentally knows what he's doing. Trains out of a good gym. Especially known for their grappling. I do think he is going to be a problem. He only gassed out his last fight because in the third round because he got so tired of beating up the guy who is extremely tough, and I consider him a decent grappler, a pretty good grappler, and a better grappler than Simon Oliveira. Um, well, yeah, let's get into Mr. Daniel Marcos. He had not the greatest wins. He had some good wins like Brandon Lewis and Clementa, Christian. These guys, they're not the worst wins, but he didn't have the greatest performances. So people were really riding him for that. And then the Brandon Lewis came, and he looked great. He has great slick striking, and I think he's going to be a problem for a lot of people. Um, I don't see Simon Oliveira on the other hand. He is. I like Simon. I think he is fun, tries to win. But the thing about Simon is he doesn't have the best fight IQ. He has a good guillotine, I'd say, that he likes to spam. Um, and he's good jiu-jitsu, I'd say. But the thing about him is he's taken Jose Alday to a split decision, and Tony Gravely got dominated by it. His wrestling isn't great. See, with his wrestling, when you're wrestling, you want to hit the hips. He hits your chest. He doesn't shoot properly, and even if you were supposed to shoot like just going to reach, he doesn't change levels, and he doesn't even attempt to hit the hips. Um, I don't know what else I could say about him. Um, he tries to pick you up, but out of a great gym, I don't think Marcos is going to let that happen. Um, Man, his striking is not good. He leaves himself extremely open. Marcos also leaves his chin a little high, but not compared to Mr. Oliveira. I just don't rate him at all, especially in the UFC level. Um, yeah, I think this is a fight that's really going to show that the difference of talent. I have a really decent sized play on Marcos. I do think he is gonna really show out in this card. I know he's not the Brazilian, but Simon Oliveira, it doesn't. You'll learn that like just because they're from this side, like it doesn't mean much. All I'm gonna say is Simon Oliveira is I don't see him winning this fight. This is Marcos' show all day. Let's go, Marcos. Let's get the job done. Moving on, we have Nunes versus Zara Farn. Now, Josiane Nunes hits like a man. There's no other way to put it. She is scary to look at. Um, she's scary to fight. She is going to be a problem for Zara Farn, not just in that first round, but the whole way through. And I don't think soft Zara Farn, the last time I checked, soft. She could have improved, but I don't think she's going to be able to take the onslaught of Josie and Nunes, and I actually see a first round finish for Josie and Nunes, if not second round. I just don't see the storm of Josie and Nunes being able to be lasted by Sarah Farron when she cannot take any sort of adversity in her last fights. So I'm gonna have to go with Josie and Nunes. Um, I do give that Sarah Fan is in good shape in this fight, and she is rather big. But I'm not going to compare the shape, but I'm going to compare the size of Beck Malecki or Beck Bay Malecki, and I hear that she just started going back to sparring recently. Like she's been really screwed up mentally from that fight. So I feel like Josie Nunez is one of those girls that like changes girls when she fights them. So I'm gonna go with Josie Nunes here. I do believe she's going to get the finish, TKO potentially. I don't think she's gonna KO Zara, but I think she's gonna TKO her in the first round. Um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think Zara Fan should get cut after this, and Josie Nunes should look towards the person that's going to expose her because I just don't rate her that highly as well. She is very, very aggressive and hits hard, but that's about it. All right, guys, moving on. We have Warley Alves versus Nicholas Dalby. Now, Nicholas Dalby. The thing about Nicholas Dalby that I don't think he gets enough credit for is how close he makes fights. Now, I get it. He does have some fights where he shouldn't be making them close, like Claudio Silva, Tim Means, or he lost to Tim Means by unanimous decision. But you gotta look at the guys he's beat. I think that I know you guys say people say, "Oh, robbery, robbery." I think he clearly won that fight against Daniel Rodriguez, and I bet on Dalby to win that fight. And the reason why is not because of his power, um, uh, or the way he looks. His footwork is really, really good, and he knows how to deal with people, different styles, and yeah, I just really rate him because I rate him as a journeyman. I do think he's a problem for a lot of people, especially heavy hitters, because they have a hard time hitting his chin. Because he's not, and when they do hit his chin, he's very tough. He can stay the course, especially when you're when you beat guys Alessio Zaleski, DeSanto, like you know what I mean. Like you beat guys like that. You show you have good striking. Alex Oliveira hits hard. Like I'm going to tell you guys, do not trust Warley Alves. I he get the finish? Maybe. I doubt it. I don't think Dalby has been finished in his pro career. So I'm going to have to go with Dalby here. Just because of the fact that he's in amazing shape to looking today at the weigh-ins. He is always consistent in how he fights, and he's really good at winning decisions. Given we're in Brazil, so it could favor Alves, I'm going to take that chance. I'm going to give it to Dalby here, winning by a split or unanimous decision. This isn't a fight I'd go heavy on. I like the over in the spot. That's about it. But yeah, one unit play, why not? Moving on to the fight that you guys really want to get into. Terrence McKinney versus Ismail Bonfim. We're going to first start with my guy, Ismail Bonfim. Now, what you guys don't know is Mr. Bonfim is a very, very good boxer. Him and his brother are very, very, very good. Their technique is almost perfect. But the thing is with both of them, not so much Ismail, more so Gabriel, they don't like to kick. And I understand that with a guy like McKinney, that's probably a problem, right? But the thing with Ismail is he does know how to kick. He just doesn't do it. I mean, he uses his kicks, I'd say, a decent amount, but it's not his main tool. He likes to use his distance and he'll stick behind the jab. He likes to fight safe, smart, win a nice decision, 30-27. He will be there for the whole 25, 15, whatever, however long it is. And he is going to fight at the same pace. Terrence McKinney. Now, I'm going to get into him in a second. But Mr. Bonfim, he is levels above Terrence McKinney as far as skill. Does he have the same power? No. Can his power carry? Yes. That's the big difference, I feel. And his jiu-jitsu is very good. So is his brother's. Um, I believe his anti-wrestling is superb. He just fought. I don't know why people are forgetting about this. He just fought Iron Abasov 28-3, a guy who was just on the Contender Series, and for a good reason. Um, he wins like 40-6, 32-4. I know these guys again. They're off these regional scenes. I know, I get it, but he's a very good fighter, and not so much a fighter as far as his wrestling. And he couldn't even touch Bonfim. Now, could Terrence mix it up and catch him at the element of surprise? Maybe, but I just don't see it. I think Ismail is so crisp, so clean. He is going to make Terrence pay on his failed shots, on his failed combos, failed overextensions, anything that he makes mistakes. I feel like he's going to capitalize on. But the thing about this fight is his name's T Rex for a reason. He has that knockout power. And if you were to bet T Rex, you have to only bet round one. He is not winning any round pass unless, for example, he beats him to the point where he somehow survives to the next round and he's like wobbling to the stool. You know what I mean? Or if, for example, he grapples him the whole round and he body triangles him. And you know what I mean? Like, he has that explosivity where he can get away with things. Where he makes laps with technique, he can make up with explosivity. Now, he is good, I feel like, technical. More so his wrestling than his jiu-jitsu. Um, I feel like his power is very good, but his actual technique is lacking. And I just feel like he keeps his chin way too high. And I just don't think he has any head movement. His head is very, like, he's always in the comments chirping, doing immature, making rap videos. I don't think his head's in the game, if that makes sense. Like, he's a very dangerous fighter, don't get me wrong, and he's game, but only for a round. And even then, he can break in that round. I just don't think McKinney is there mentally yet for this, like how high level this is. Like, he is good, he's talented, but there's gonna, like, this is a fight that's gonna test him. If he can, like, if he knocks him out in the first round, I'm still not gonna learn anything. And I'm still gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna have to fade Terrence McKinney. But if he knocks out this guy, I'm gonna have to take him a little more seriously. That's all. Because this ain't no Matt Frivola. Because if you look at this, he's never been finished on the feet. Now let's see how is Matt Frivola, has he been finished before? Oh yeah, by Polo Reyes. So if you're trying to tell me that and yeah, he took Armin to a decision. Good, great. That's a great thing to say. But you guys have to understand. There's levels, in my opinion, to this. Oh, he even beat Jalen. So that's cool. But yeah, like, you lose to guys like Polo Reyes, you're gonna lose to a guy like Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney is a one round novelty prop bet. You know what I mean? He's not a trusted, reliable money line pick. That's the best summary I can put around this fight. And I love Terrence. He's a great guy. I love watching him fight. I have a T-shirt of him, but I can't get behind him in this fight, man. It's just not a fight I think he's going to win. For that reason, we got Bonfim by unanimous decision or late round two, round three, TKO. We'll see though. I don't think Terrence will quit, but never know. They're in Brazil. This could be a lot for him in his head. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going with my boy Ishmael Bonfim. I believe he has this one in the bag. This is my second value play. I am extremely confident in. And yeah, let's get into the next one. Moving on, we have Cody Stamann versus Luan Lacerda. Now, Cody Stamann, man, he does everything well, especially his wrestling, and he's strong, but he doesn't do anything superbly. Like, his jiu-jitsu isn't great. He's outdone in the jiu-jitsu department. His striking isn't superb. In my opinion, he's in trouble in the striking department as well if he does not respect Luan. I think Cody Stamann should be able to win this fight. Because if you look at Cody Stamann's record, once again, he's beating guys Brian Kelleher, Perez, Caraway, I guess they're not like the best wins. Eesh, they're not even that great to be honest. So this is actually a good spot here. He doesn't have that many great wins, so this would be his best win or one of his one of his best wins. And in my opinion, I really like Lacerda here. I want to pick. I'm almost. I really want to pick. Trust me, I really want to take him, and I might. But right now, I'm starting to lean the Lacerda way. The thing with Lacerda is he doesn't have a great wrestling base, so all he can do is pull guard. And I can't rely on that against a wrestler. But what I can rely on is the fact that he doesn't just use his jiu-jitsu. He does have some striking to hurt you to set it up. Or if you screw up, he is just like that. He will capitalize, get to the back, get to your heel. He is nasty. I don't think you should sleep on this man. Plus 300, do not sleep on this man. Um, I talked to him. I've told him Cody's game plan. I don't know if he's going to use, like, what he's going to do about it. Do I think he's going to win? I think he should, like, he could be able to. Like, he should be able to win this fight. But at the same time, I just edge Cody's wrestling a little bit more. So 55 to 45%. This is a fight I would be all over the dog, and I stay away from props because this is a fight where you don't bet and keep it simple. Yeah, Lacerda here. I like to see what you can get with the sub prop as well. I don't know. This is a fun fight though. I'm rooting for Lacerda here. Yeah, let's go Lacerda. He faced a better striker his last fight, so we'll see if that gives him the confidence in the feet to, take it to him on the feet. Who knows? But yeah, moving on to one of our locks, the lock of the card, Jalton Almeida versus Shamil Abdurakhimov. Jalton, man, I don't even really need to get into this. He's gonna finish him in one round. Shamil is a big jar, like a big bag of milk in a jar. It's a mess, and I don't know why he's in the UFC, why Dana even does this, but he just I don't know. He cuts a lot of guys, so I give him that. But this guy should be already gone. He is like in his 40s, I believe. He is just like I said, a big bag of milk. When you get him on the ground, he can't get up. So when you're putting him against a guy like Jalton Almeida, it's just a recipe for disaster. I think he's going to get TKO in less than a half a round. Yeah, I got Shamil here quite convincingly and easily. I don't think this is a fair matchup, and I think Shamil is going to retire after this. That's it. And I think Jalton's going to get another easy matchup, if not a little bit of a step up. Um, I don't know if you can even play this. I'm going to look for the first round prop, see what else you can do. But man, this is a fight where like you don't want to put too much on because the odds won't let you. But yeah, well, moving on. Let's get through this. I got Jalton by first round finish, TKO. We got Gabriel Bonfim versus Monir Luzez. This is probably the fight I'm battling most in my head. I'd say one of the two or one of them. I love Gabriel Bonfim. He's probably one of my favorites. The thing with him is he doesn't kick. And with a guy like Munir Lazez, you're going to want to know how to kick. And I don't believe his toolbox is deep enough to be dealing with guys like Munir Lazez, who has faced got really good guys. And the only thing about this that worries me, genuinely, is that loss to Warley Alves because I know Gabriel doesn't kick, but man, does he punch hard. And if you can get hurt by Warley, man, I really like Gabriel, and it's taking me everything in me not to just take Gabriel, man, because I want to take Gabriel. But for some reason, something inside of me thinks that Mr. Lazaz is going to win a unanimous decision. And unfortunately for me, um, I can't. Uh, I can't bet on Gabriel Bonfim, especially at those odds. I just can't. Um, if would I be surprised to see Gabriel win? No, but I'm gonna just trust the guy that has the UFC experience, the guy that's on a little bit of a hot streak right now. I know he only has one win, but he looked really, really, really good doing it. So let's hope he keeps that momentum and gets a win over Mr. Bonfim and teaches him how to kick, because Bonfim is really lacking that in his game. But that he does, what he does make up for is his jiu-jitsu. So we got to be careful about that. If you're gonna bet Gabriel Monfils, I suggest actually I don't even want to say yeah, because like TKO or sub he could get. I don't see him winning a decision. Um, yeah, moving on. We have Melquizael Costa versus Thiago Moises. Now they're both Brazilian. Costa's debut fighting a guy in Thiago Moises. In my opinion, I think Thiago is going to run through him. He's been subbed by lesser competition. He did knock out Junior Mello, which is a great win to have. And he does have some decent wins, but the problem here with this is he's fighting a guy in Thiago Moises who has extremely good experience. He took down Islam Makhachev, extremely credentialed on the mats. Um, yeah, he subbed Chriselle Giagos with ease, beat Bobby Green, Hernandez, Michael Johnson, Ismagala. He lost to him, but he's a good fighter, man, and I do not want to sleep on him. And that's why I think Thiago's going to win this quite convincingly in the first round. Um, I want to have him as a lock, but again, with the odds, you have to be careful. So I'm going to have him as more of a confident play. But yeah, moving on. I do think, yeah, moving on. RoboCop versus Bruno Ferreira. Um, Bruno Bruno is dangerous, um, but he's extremely small compared to Gregory. I feel like he can pack a punch, and the thing with Gregory is he's chinny. So I think the only way Bruno wins is by TKO. But the thing about Gregory is if he doesn't when he makes up for a bad chin, he has durability. He does not quit, and he comes back from adversity. He has devastating power, devastating cardio, jiu-jitsu, judo, pretty good wrestling. He is a problem everywhere, and I do think he's going to run through Bruno Ferreira in a round. Um, yeah, Rodriguez and Moises would be a solid parlay if you can get them at good odds. Um, but yeah, I like this. I like these two spots here for the Brazilians, even though they're fighting two Brazilians. So I do like Rodriguez here by first round TKO. I do think Bruno Ferreira has still a baby and hasn't had to fight someone who really is going to give him a good fight. Given he is talented and he makes the guys he fights look how they're supposed to look. It actually exceeds that, to be honest, but still, I do think this is Gregory's fight to lose. So I'm going to ride with Robocop here, even though he has me blocked. Moving on, we have Mauricio Rua versus Ihor Potieria. Now, Ihor Potieria, I do believe, is very dangerous in the first round, especially. Um, Beat a guy in Ludesk Sadalski, who was an undefeated fighter, but at the time, and he's very, very credentialed. Given he is a bit of a can crusher, I do think that he is dangerous. And for that reason, I do think he's going to finish Mr. 40-year-old Marcia. or Shogun Hua, and I'm really upset that they really gave him this fight as his last fight because I don't think he can handle this as his last fight. He is not ready for it, and I think Shogun's going to get finished. Unfortunately, in the first round, I think Ihor is too much of a hurricane, and I don't think at this age and at this stage of his career with the amount of injuries he has, he'll be able to withstand the flurry, and I believe this will be it for Shogun. If he gets Ihor down, he can finish Ihor, but I don't think he'll be able to get Ihor down at least in round one. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm got Ihor by first round TKO. Moving on, we have Paul Craig versus Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker, man, everyone sleeps on Johnny Walker. They always think, oh, he just has jiu-jitsu. He just has striking. He has jiu-jitsu, guys. What he doesn't like to use it. He likes to strike. And the thing here Craig is going to learn is he will use anti-jiu-jitsu. Can he get caught? Sure. But I just think it was a bigger outcome that he finishes Craig by TKO with the crazy power he has, athleticism he has, and the fact that Craig is very quick to pull guard, and Walker will make him pay if he does that with vicious ground and pound. I'm going to go with Johnny Walker here, just because he's so many advantages over Paul Craig, and I don't like betting on a guy who will pull guard willingly. Like I know I broke that rule with Sarah, but it's a little different story with that fight. Styles also make fights, so I'm going with Paul Craig, not Paul Craig, Johnny Walker by first or second round TKO. I just believe in him, especially right now in his career. He's under a good team and he's focused. So I'm hoping he does well, especially in his home country. Moving on, we have Jessica Andrade versus Lauren Murphy. Now, in a normal world, Lauren Murphy loses in one round. But in the weird world that we have in UFC, Lauren Murphy could win a unanimous decision or a split decision based on this judging criteria. But the thing about Jessica Andrade is she has good jiu-jitsu and good striking, and she has neither. She has alright jiu-jitsu and decent wrestling. She is not going to be able to, and alright striking, but she is not going to be able to deal with Jessica Andrade for 3 rounds at the flurry she does. I do think Andrade will get the finish in the first or second round, but in the Matrix world we live in, things could happen. She could win a unanimous decision too. I just really don't think Lauren Murphy's that tough to be able to withstand 3 rounds of Andrade, especially after quitting to Valentina. But you know, like I said, Valentina is also a different level too than Andrade. So I don't know. All I know is Andrade is a beast, and Lauren Murphy is yet to show me a beast. But anyways, moving on. We have Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. Now this is a fight that everyone's quick to jump on Burns, and I completely understand why. Took Hamzat to a decision. He also his teammate just submitted Magny. He should have all the inside info. But you got to understand about this fight that Gilbert Burns, he has the jiu-jitsu advantage and the wrestling advantage, but he doesn't deal well with guys who hit right down the center, and that's what Neil Magny does so well. He neutralized Jeff Neal, and I believe he has the capabilities to do that to Gilbert Burns. I don't think he will, just with the threat of the takedown, but you never know. You never know. Neil Magny is crafty, and I'm gonna give it to Gilbert. I believe he's good enough to be able to deal with the craftiness and get either submission win or unanimous decision. But I'm not heavily betting this fight. Let's just say that it's just not a safe play. But yeah, I do have a lot of belief in Gilbert, but I don't know if he'll let me down or not. So we'll see. Um, yeah. Moving on, we have Davison Figueroa versus Brandon Moreno. Brandon, I have Brandon, man. I think he's a more talented fighter. He's not given the God best power, but I just do think he is the better fighter. He has better cardio. He wants it more. He stays focused. He stays in the gym. I just think he's going to beat Davison. Could Davison win? Sure, but I just don't think he's at Moreno's level. Or not at Moreno's level, but I don't think he's as good per skill as Moreno is. And I do think Moreno is going to beat him this weekend. Um, I don't know how, but I do think he's going to win. My guess would have to be either third round TKO or unanimous or split decision. I don't know. It's a weird fight to call exact outcome, but I do think Brandon wins this. Moving on, we have Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill versus Glover Teixeira for the vacant title. You gotta love it, man. A part of me wants to pick Jamal Hill first round TKO, and there's a chance he could TKO Glover later too, but I just don't like him in the spot, and I don't usually like to bet on guys who have all they have is a knockout chance, especially with just their hands. Guy, all he has is his hands, and I don't think it'll be enough to deal with the onslaught that is Glover Teixeira, and I think Teixeira will be able to get him out of there within 1 or 2 rounds. Um, I just don't believe he has a ground game to deal with Teixeira, and I don't believe he's in shape to deal with Teixeira. Um, yeah, I'm on Teixeira all day, baby. I'm sorry, I do like Sweet Dreams, but this is gonna be a Glover, another Glover win in my opinion. If I can recap the picks, guys, we have Marcos KO, TKO, round one. We have Nunes round one TKO. We have I'm gonna change that. We have Dalby decision. We have Bonfim decision, Stamen decision, Almeida KO TKO round one, Lazez decision, Moises decision, Rodriguez KO TKO round two, Portera KO TKO round one, Walker KO TKO round one, Andrade KO TKO round one, Burns submission round two, Moreno decision, Teixeira submission round two, and that's it. I can say my most confident predictions. Jeltson's number one, obviously. I could say my number two most confident. I would say have to say Daniel Marcos to be honest. Um uh Number three would be Gilbert Burns and Moises. Um Actually not Burns. So I do Moises and Jessica Andrade. And then I would do at number four, I do Ishmael Bonfim and Gilbert Burns. Number five would have to be, I'd probably say RoboCop and Josie Nunez, probably. Yeah, I'd say that. Those are my predictions, guys. Like, subscribe. I'll have the post stamps tomorrow, and I'll have plays out tomorrow. See ya. Love ya.